Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our United Way president, Kristi Huber.
Everybody, welcome, good morning. Oh, it's so good to have you here today. Oh my gosh, could we fit one more person in this room? Wouldn't that be something? It is so good that you are here today with us. And on behalf of the entire United Way team, I just want to take a minute to thank you for making time to come and be with us on this kickoff, this 2016 kickoff. I want you to know I am incredibly grateful to be able to have this opportunity to work alongside all of you and to serve as the leader of the United Way. And so thank you for working with me. I want to take a minute. I want to thank our Live United partners as well as our presenting sponsors. These folks are awesome. They are with us at every event, and what they do is they help us maximize our message, and they help us really maximize the event experience as well. And so hopefully today you will feel that. And so I want to give a very special thank you to them. I also want to thank our today's kickoff sponsors, and they also help us amplify today's message. And so without them, we wouldn't be able to do the extra things today, and so we want to make sure we say thanks as well. Media Productions, they are an awesome team. They help us so much. They help us with sound. They help us make sure that we look good on screen, and so thank you to them for being our event production sponsor. They also help us with our video that we do, and so we couldn't do what we do without you. Also, the Holiday Inn, thank you to you. What a beautiful venue that we're in. Can you believe this remodel? Isn't it great that we have this in our community? And we appreciate their help in being our dessert and venue sponsor as well. I want to say a very special thank you to our community nonprofit partners. And you can see them on the screen here. This picture was actually taken just a couple of weeks ago at our community partner breakfast. And you can see that some of the community partners also invited their board members to be a part of this meeting as well. And it was a really important time for us to come together and to have those conversations. And we are so proud to work with these absolutely committed, inspiring professionals. They go above and beyond. They're dedicated to solving the community's greatest issues and most challenging needs. And so we are so grateful to be able to work alongside them. At this meeting, I asked them a question. I wanted to hear from them. What do you think is our biggest issue facing our community today? And as they texted their answers, they created this Wordle. And you can see, anybody who's done this before knows that the more times a word is texted, it actually becomes bigger on the screen. And so as we look at this Wordle and the biggest challenging issues, what we see is poverty. You can see childcare, housing, affordable housing, homelessness. Those things really clearly stand out. And many of these issues, if you look beyond, they are incredibly complicated and incredibly interconnected. And so then I asked this question to the group. I asked them, what is the greatest obstacle in overcoming these issues? And this was the Wordle that came together from that meeting. Money, resources, funding. We know that those probably aren't surprises, but honestly, we cannot maximize our strategies and implement the research to solve these complex problems that we had up on the first Wordle without the talented professionals and the resources we need in order to drive the work forward. And so your investment is incredibly important and crucial in making sure that change happens here in our community. I want you to take a look at the Wordle again, and I want you to look beyond those first big words. I want you to see community, knowledge of the issues, and collaboration. This is what our community partners want you to know. These are the things that we can come together and we can create an opportunity to create change by coming together and collaborating. Many of you had a chance to hear from Ben Heck. He's the CEO of Living Cities, and he was here for TEDx Fargo just a few weeks ago. And his message was really important for so many to hear, and that's why I'm going to repeat it. He said that it's going to take all of us together, coming together in order for us to solve our community's biggest challenges. And he said Not one nonprofit can nonprofit their way out of these huge challenges. And so I challenge you today, as you hear this message, and as you get ready to go back into your companies and spread this message back to them, I challenge you to think about working together as a community at an elevated level of this level of collaboration, bringing different perspectives to the table from the nonprofits, the for-profits, the city, county, state governments. And we will, if we welcome this innovation and this collaboration, we will find solutions, and I trust you, resources that we would have never imagined on our own. Our community partners, I can tell you this, that they are all in and personally invested in this collaboration. We know that you are here today because you too are absolutely invested in this work, and we need your help in sharing this message with the rest of the community. Take a look.
There is boldness in all of us. In the right circumstances, we can ignite that boldness to pull ourselves up or extend a hand to someone else. And when we band together, we can ignite that boldness to take on the critical problems in our community. The ones we often don't see or talk about at happy hours and social gatherings. The ones that seem too hard to solve, like homelessness, hunger, or children in need. With your help, we find and invest every dollar we can to address them. But when we stand united, we are more than fundraisers. We are hand raisers, game changers. Bold, stop talking, start doing, take on the impossible taskmasters, no matter the obstacles or odds, and we make a difference. For Mason, who knows every day he's in school, he won't go hungry, and on Friday, he'll have a bag to share with his little brother. For Andrea, a mom who won't have to choose between childcare for her son and achieving her goal of a college degree. For Max, who loves school but needs help when he acts out in the classroom because life can be stressful at home. For Ken, who was once homeless and stayed at the shelter, but now comes back to volunteer nearly every day of the week. For Angelina, who graduated with pride and is headed to college this fall thanks to a tutor who helped her believe in herself and her dreams. For veterans struggling to cope with life, parents seeking a brighter future for their kids, youth who feel lost and alone, and families devastated by an unexpected crisis. We give and we unite for those who need a voice and those whose names we do not know. Being bold is helping those who are the hardest to help, the ones with the least amount of hope. And just as importantly, being bold is investing in programs and strategies that create lasting change by tackling causes rather than symptoms, ultimately giving people the one thing they need most, opportunity, often at pivotal moments in their lives, when a helping hand has the power to change everything. Help may come from Kara, a nurse and mom of 3, who dedicates her life to advising first-time moms and dads in need about how to provide the best future for their child. Or Nate, who coaches and encourages young children with big obstacles to move, play, and experience joy. Or Ashley, who because of United Way has the opportunity to find better solutions for those that are homeless, focusing on barriers to break the cycle, because everyone deserves a home. Or Janae, who visits neighborhood parks in the summer to make sure kids who are hungry don't miss a meal because school isn't in session. Or the man who boldly leads others to give back and pay it forward after his own children received backpacks and school supplies when they were young. These people are just like you and I. Life-changing help comes from any one of thousands like you who give boldly to fight for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in our community. When we are bold, kids learn. People land on their feet. Teens turn a corner. Families thrive. And our communities flourish. Every person deserves a future that isn't dictated by their past. But change doesn't happen alone. Hope isn't a one-man band. We have one life. To live better, we must be bold. We must live united.
These are the real stories in our community. These are the real problems that are happening every day in our community. And sometimes it's easy to look past them, especially when we're not looking for them. It's crucial for our community to be aware and to be advocates for those who need a voice and those who need a hand up. You are the hand raisers. You are the game changers. And you will make this community the best it can be. I fully believe that. At this year's annual meeting, we rolled out 5 bold goals to the community, and our community partners are committed to collaborate on these and to finding a path through to any of these 4 bold goals. And today I want to spend some time on these 4 community impact goals so that you're informed as our advocates, so that you can share the needs with others, you can share the statistics, and you can also share the strategies, which is really important that you can be able to talk about this in any of the conversations that you might have. Because we are a community, and we are collaborating. So bold goal number 1, we've got it listed in your program. It's page number 5 if you want to turn to it. It's important that you see this because why do we want to focus on reducing hunger and homelessness? Because in the last 10 years, homelessness has doubled in our community, and we shouldn't be okay with that. 57% of the households in North Dakota that are going to the food bank are saying that they are choosing between food and medical care, and that's not okay. Our strategy is to focus on 4 bold areas that you see on the screen now, and also it's in your program. And we are working on these 4 areas with 21 community partners. Those community partners are also on the screen right now. They are in your program, so you can take them with you. And at this point in time, I would ask that the leaders and the program directors that are here, would you please rise so that we can recognize you for your dedication and work towards bold goal 1. I see you back there. That's awesome. According to the Wilder study that came out just before the Wilder study that's coming out or just coming out today or tomorrow, according to that previous one, which the numbers will be close, I can guarantee, that at any point in time, at any night, we have 874 homeless individuals, families, and children that are in our community. And we have 5 very caring shelters that are working in this community, and they care deeply about providing that emergency support for families and individuals. But together, there's only 367 beds. You saw a success story today on the video with Ken, and Ken is here with us today. Ken became homeless because his apartment was sold and he had to move out, and it gave him a need that he had to have some emergency shelter. And during that time, he suffered some seizures and some other medical issues that were really challenging. And so after waiting a period of time, the good news is he was able to be in the Churches United shelter, and that was a very, very positive experience for him. And Ken said that now that he's on his feet, it's really important for him to come back and to help and to serve. And you saw him in the video. He comes back nearly every day because he wants to give back and he wants to provide that same hand up to those in need. And so when we asked him for some advice, Ken said, don't let anyone or anything distract you from your goals. He said, no matter the hard times, you can do it. And I think that that is awesome advice, Ken. Ken's here today. Can we just encourage him? You want to stand up, Ken? Thank you. Thank you so much, Ken, for serving others. Going back to the statistic, we know if there's 874 and 367 beds, doing some math. I wasn't a math major in college, but I can do some rough math, and it's about 500 people in our community at any point in time that don't have shelter. And if you had a chance to hear the story that Pastor Sue from Churches United had just yesterday, and go back, it's online on the forum, it's important that you read it. She would say that it is a community issue, that we need to call for community advocacy in this area. There's just not enough available and affordable housing. This challenge that we have, that we feel very strongly about to help those 500, we want to look at those families and those individuals, and we want to get them housed faster. We don't want them to have to wait, and we want them to have longer periods of time where they have a home. And so we are working on the Housing First housing navigation program. And I know that we rolled that out. Tom did an awesome job of rolling that out at the annual meeting. And I want you to know we're making progress on that. We brought 14 of our community partners together, and we're focusing on that attention and those resources on the most chronically homeless, the cases that are the hardest to find housing for. We know that that population often represents the greatest usage of our community's resources in the area of law enforcement, EMT visits, and emergency room visits as well. And when it's calculated, it is clear that in doing nothing costs exceedingly more than doing something like Housing First, which has worked in other parts of the country and other parts in Canada, and we can bring that innovative idea here, and we can implement that together. This collaborative, like I said, has been successful. We just started in April. We hired 3 housing navigators. You got to see Ashley on the video. You got to see her. And she's one of the 3. And we are housing families. We are housing individuals. And the system is working. And we can't wait to tell you more about it at next year's annual meeting. So you have to make sure that you come back to that because we are excited to share those success stories. But again, I'd go back and I echo our community partner, Pastor Sue, in that we need to know that this is not just a shelter issue. This is a community issue that we can absolutely come together around, and we can make a difference together. Jan Eliason is the executive director from the Gladys Ray Shelter, and if you have met her, you know she is an angel walking on earth. She is amazing, and she cares deeply for our community. She has seen people die on the streets in Fargo. It happens. And she is passionate about making sure that we can help those that are the toughest to house. She said, she gave a really big compliment. She said that this Housing First program would not be working today if United Way hadn't been a part of that. And the only reason, not to take credit for it, the only reason I mention it today is to pass the compliment on to you guys, because you are investors, you made that happen. You're a part of that work, and I congratulate you for doing what you're doing in changing lives in this area. It's impressive. Hunger is another big issue in our community, and we know that each year about 1,400, a little over 1,400 children are part of the backpack program. They're across 25 schools across our community. They receive these backpacks on Friday so they can take them home and they can share them with their family. But we know that hunger doesn't end when school is done. And so it's really important that you know that we have a summer feeding program and that you got to see the stories of Erica and you got to see the stories of Jenna. And they are adorable, and they come to the park, to the Village West Park, nearly every day to receive food for lunch because their family just needs a hand up. And so Christina had an opportunity to be there while we were filming the video, and she was talking actually to their mom, and their mom just wanted you to know, she wanted to pass along this thank you. She said, "You have made a difference for us. Thank you. Will you please tell those people that care about this that we appreciate them?" We said, "Absolutely. We will absolutely pass that on. It absolutely makes a difference." This is where the park is, where Erica and Jenna come to receive those meals during the summer. And many of us drive past, and we don't necessarily even see it. And that's why it's so important that we do look for the needs and that we challenge others to look for the needs in our community. And we appreciate getting to work with great partners like the Great Plains Food Bank. They're doing some great work, and young leaders like Jenna that are absolutely making a difference day in and day out for those families in need. Okay, bold goal number 2. Why is this so important that children are prepared to succeed? Because I will tell you that a child's long-term quality of life can be directly traced to those first few years of life. And I will tell you that high-quality education equates to higher graduation rates, reduced crime, and increased earnings and better jobs. We know from a study that's been done that every dollar that's invested in preparing children to succeed comes back at a rate of 7 to 10%. So it's a great return on your investment in this community. Our strategy is to focus on 4 areas, which you see on screen, and also you see that in your program. And we are working with you to develop our future workforce as well as our future community. And so you will see that on the screen, you'll see our partners that we are collaborating with in this area. They're in your program, and we'd like to ask those partners that are here today if they could stand so that we can recognize you for your dedication and your work to Bold Goal 2. Please stand. That is awesome. We appreciate you. Education is the key to breaking the cycle of poverty. Yesterday, we had an opportunity to be a part of Eggs and Issues. The Chamber did a fabulous event. We had our 3 superintendents there talking about how much they care about the kids in our community, and we are so fortunate to have leaders that is their one and only mission, is to help kids succeed. We know that there are 6,000 children in our community that are living in poverty. And just for a point of reference, it's important for you to know that 25% of a child's waking hours are spent in school. So it's so important that we have quality programming, that we can come around these kids and we can provide those additional programming opportunities so that they can be prepared to be successful in school. Mentorship is a key factor. Mentorship was a game changer for me personally, and I am so grateful for those opportunities that I've had. But you got to see the stories of Angelina and Shaylee, and you can see their faces. You can see that mutual respect that has been built together over 4 years of working together through the Upward Bound tutoring program. And there is no doubt in Angelina's mind that Shaylee has been instrumental in making sure that she was able to walk across that stage and receive her high school diploma and get ready for what's next in her life as she prepares to have an opportunity to enter into the workforce as well. You can see the pride on Angelina's face, and you were part of making that happen. Another really exciting program is the school supply drive. And I have to say thank you to the over 500 volunteers that raised their hand and said, we want to be a part of this because it matters. And so we had over 500 volunteers. We had over 90 companies that were part of this year's school supply drive, and we couldn't have done it without you. We were able together to pack over 5,800 backpacks for kids in our community, and it is awesome. I had an opportunity to talk to the Moorhead High School, actually all of their educators. They had their kickoff, and Dr. Kovash was kind enough to invite me to come in and talk a little bit about our partnership and why United Way and the community cares about them. And when I talked about the backpacks and the school supplies, I have to tell you that the auditorium erupted in applause. And I have to pass that on to you because you made that happen. Our teachers appreciate you. They do so much. They want to be there for the kids. They really appreciate that you bring those school supplies and together and make that connection. We know it's not just elementary school students. We know that it's also middle school and high school students that need these resources as well. And we know that when they have that opportunity to go to school and they're prepared, you didn't just pack pencils and pens and folders in those backpacks. You truly packed confidence so that they can walk in and be ready on that first day. And so I thank you for that. Bold goal 3, helping people be independent. Why is this so important for us as a community? It's important because we know that it's cost effective to help seniors live in their own homes independently for longer periods of time. We know that behavioral health, it is crucial to be able to diagnose and treat behavioral health issues as soon as possible, especially with kids, because half of all chronic mental illness is actually begins before the age of 14. We want to invest in this early. And so we are, with this strategy for Bold Goal 3, we have 4 strategic areas that we're investing in with the help of 20 community partners. You can see in the programs their names, but I just want you to look up here and see their names on screen. And if they are in the audience today, I want them to stand so we can recognize you for your dedication and your work toward Bold Goal 3. Max's story. You had a chance to hear Max's story. Max is a little boy that lives in Moorhead, and this is a true story that he's a 3rd grader. He loves to learn. He loves to go to school. He loves to be able to be someplace where he can just plug in and learn and be safe. And the reason why that's so important is because Max's home life is incredibly stressful. He has a lot going on at home. His family has challenges. And so sometimes Max brings those challenges to school and he acts out because he's frustrated and it's disruptive with the class. And so in Moorhead, we've been able to work with with Solutions Behavioral Health Care with their Incredible Years program. And that program puts on-site resources in the hands of these educators because it's important that Max is learning. It's important that he's being a good student alongside his other students in his class, his classmates, but also for his teacher and also for his parents and his parents' employers, because we ask our partners to track their metrics and measure their outputs. We can tell you that there has been a 70% reduction in parents leaving their work because of child bad behavior or behavioral issues. And so that is absolutely having a positive effect on these families that every day they are so close to either having to make very important decisions that they might have to go without something because we know that there are so many families that truly are living so close to the poverty level. Which leads us to bold goal number 4, lifting people out of poverty. Why is this important? Because we have 27,000 people in Cass and Clay counties that are living in poverty. The federal definition of poverty is a family of 4 that is living on less than $25,000 per year. And we know that there are a lot of families that are truly on the bubble. But I tell you this, I tell you that it is possible to break the cycle of poverty. And our strategy is to focus on 5 areas with 8 community partners. And you can see their names on the screen, and you can see them in the program. And I would ask if they are here today, if they would please stand so we can recognize them for their dedication and work to Bold Goal 4. Thank you. So today you had a chance to hear the story of Andrea and her son Mason. And what's so important is because Andrea was at a very important crossroad. She knew that she did not have the skills to go back to get a job that would give her a living wage. And so she wanted to go back to college. She wanted to go to MSUM. And she wanted to be able then to make sure that someone was there to make sure they took care of her children. And so it was a really important choice. And so because of being able for United Way partners and investors, we were able to make investments in quality childcare at Seneca, where her sons were able to go and to have quality education. And so when we look at that, that's a win-win situation, because not only are we helping Andrea succeed as she goes back and gets her degree and gets her opportunities to be able to provide for her family, but we're also providing for her son to be ready and to be engaged so that when they start school, they are ready to learn. We know that that return on investment is crucial, and we know that it's important because we are asking our partners to track, and what they are telling us is when we make investments in quality childhood education, we know that those children are improving at 2 times the rate of other kids on their academic schools. It makes such an important difference. And we invest, United Way, and you as investors invest $250,000 a year to make sure that we have kids that are ready to learn, and it is one of our best investments we can make. Another strategy for lifting people out of poverty is our investment in the Nurse Family Partnership Program, which pairs nurses with low-income moms. And what we do and what we see with the research is it's absolutely making a difference. It's our best investment for the long-term health of our community. Nurses like Kara, they work with moms so that they can go out, and if they are in situations of domestic abuse, they may be drinking or may be smoking, that those nurses can come alongside and they can counsel them on this. And because they are helping us track this information, I can tell you that in our community, those moms that are working with nurses like Kara are seeing a decrease by 62% in domestic violence in their homes. And we are seeing a decrease in alcohol use and a decrease in smoking, which is so crucial because one fact that I can share with you and something to think about is that an estimate puts the total associated costs for a child that's born with fetal alcohol syndrome to be at over the long-term cost of their lifetime to be over $800,000. We can have the most effective way of preventing these issues by working together and investing in really important programs like what you have seen and all of the programs that we just talked about. It's so important for you to have these stats. It's so important for you to have these stories because we ask you to take them with you. And in order to move the needle, folks, we are absolutely going to have to work together. These seem like overwhelming issues sometimes, but together we can absolutely make a difference. We can absolutely change the future of our community. We have to continue to invest, though. We need to invest in innovative strategies. We need to measure our results and continue to work collaboratively, and that means you. Get plugged in. You have skills, you have knowledge, you have resources that are valuable. You make a difference, and we must be bold.